Detailed layout of the anomaly barricade relay points.
Perfect. I'm uploading the barricade map to your ARC device. By my calculations, if you electrify all 8 posts, you'll have all the power you need.
Okay. We see.
Does that seem right?
Oh, yeah.
Does it seem right to you?
I think so. Yeah, I ran the numbers a few times, and I...
Then get to it, driver.
Okay. Just pretty much stay on the outer circuit, it seems. The plus side of not having the off-road tires is we're a lot faster and better on the road, which this seems to be following largely. So that's nice. Here's... Whoa, come on. There's one.
All right, it's working.
Seems like I could still use those as a checkpoint too. I need that. They haven't made these too terribly difficult, which I appreciate. Sometimes you get that in games where it's like, especially later on, the main story stuff just becomes such a massive headache and burden to do that it's like, this isn't fun anymore. This has been pretty okay though.
We're charged. Arc device readings at 4.2 gigajoules and holding steady.
Good. Then we're all set. The ARC device is ready to go. It'll hold that charge for as long as we need it.
Okay. There we are.
Pedal to the metal, driver. Storm's coming.
I'm on it. Limb shield, let's go. Physical resist. Yeah, it's a proper storm too. Of course. Pretty much a straight shot there. God, I hear a blacksmith. It's convenient when you can just drive down the mountain to get out. It saves you so much time.
Nice work out there. The whale could be a lot. Take your time and gear up. No telling what that remnant's going to unleash.
The end of the road. Approach the well. Right. That's that. Well, at least it's perpetually stable there, so it can't be that bad, right?
I sent you something, if you don't mind taking a look.
5k limb for the gateway, but I don't think I actually need that for the story, right? It seems like it's kind of whatever. We can also just kind of get it there before we go. Quite handy. So then 2 scanner charges, so we can try to cleanse some stuff. Like A1 with a meteorite medley and magnified explosions? That sounds awful. I don't know what those mean, but that sounds just terrible. Exhausting explosions, eerie darkness, swift storm. Corrosive downpours, intense radiation? That sounds really bad. We could F1 B1 and A5 actually. It says 3 destinations planned, but like I haven't actually. It's just the one. I think it's assuming a bit. We got a couple little bleeds on the highway here, but that's okay. F1, B1, and then A5, I guess. Light ambient radiation. Meh. Should be alright. Right, you sent me something? In memoriam. Great.
Tobias's favorite cryptid of them all. If it's not too much to ask, if you could put it on your dashboard. so Tobias can come along for the ride, for wherever you're going. But don't feel obligated by any means.
Yeah, all right. Bit scary, but all right. Sure. Let me get stuff depoted. I wonder if I upgrade the antenna now. Do you think I'll get my charges back? It'd be great. I assume this brings us up to 5 charges from 3. I'm hoping I have at least 2 after this. Oh, crap. Right on. Ah, nice. I have 2 scanner charges still. Cool. So I could... just for the sake of time, I suppose, we could reroll E1 just so we can direct to F1. And then direct to B1, I think. And then we might get stopped here on the way to A5. Looks like we probably will, and that's alright then, I guess. And then A5 we just have to deal with. We'll see about gathering up some Kalim along the way, but I think I can probably get most of what's required at the quest area. Not that I'm even going to be using the energy to get out, probably. Something is draining gas, and I'm not sure what. Like, it's actually draining gasoline very slowly. Quirk, maybe. We are all puncture-proofed, all repaired up. Still got the limb shield on, still got the Olympian bumper on, still got, obviously, the ion shield on. Replaced the mini turbines, and the solar panel is no longer there. We just have 3 turbines and a hydro generator, which needs a little touching up, actually. I forgot about you. There we go. Plenty of general supplies, loads of putty, plenty of patch kits, spare tire, jumper cables just in case, the plasma charger as well. Can never be too sure. Spare flares always hanging out here with the anchor radar. Refreshed all of my tools. This insulated bumper we don't really need back here. I mean, it's to replace the limb shield, I suppose, just in case. It's fine. We can keep that. The flare guns are kind of whatever. Bit of first aid kits. Yeah, I think we're alright to head out and do this thing. I don't know what all it entails. I'll probably see you around A5 or maybe just a quest objective. I don't know. I don't expect very much to happen along the way. I almost forgot. The tailoring station, which I think I forgot to look at a few times. But there's not a whole lot here we'd be interested in. That is just the impact resistance for myself. Anti-static gloves for the electrical shock blocking. So I can just pick up and handle electrified things, no problem. And that's it. Great. I need Olympium fragments for a new radiation suit. I guess we'll grab the personal airbag. It's most of my fabric, but I guess it's fine. There. So my impact resist is insane, I think. Because I still have this on for the 30%, so coupled with the 45%, I think it's just adding together. Which then really confuses me regarding radiation resist, because that should be 100% radiation resist, and the blocking of radiation less than 2.5k, which is already a strange amount because not much is less than 2.5k anyway. This whole thing is completely redundant because my radiation resist is already 100%. I don't know, man. And then, yeah, I guess blocking electrical shocks. Okay, cool. Anti-corrosive anorak. Oh, yeah, okay. The acid resist stuff. Okay. It gets up to, what, 90% or so? Carbon fiberglass and not enough rubber. We can try it. 5 more carbon fiberglass. I won't have the fabric anymore, though. Oh. Well, I needed rubber, not fabric. Okay. Then cool. A little more acid resist for myself. And then more rubber and more carbon fiberglass, and we can make that one for even more acid resist. Okay. Excellent. So now I think we're ready to go. I thought maybe with the red balloons there'd be a little bit more that we could get. Is that the junction bypass then? So this is where I do it. Okay. You just go ahead and select it. We just, screw you, F1. We still get stopped down here at the ghost thing. I don't know. There's like permanently some storm down here that we can't bypass. This is like the second or third time it's happened. And always this spot. I assume it's just a bit of a bug. Okay, yeah, very simple, this one. We just went from one highway right into another one. So I think the box truck. I think the junction bypass is also like a highway map. So we went from one stop from an alleged storm directly into the bypass. So two of them just in a row. Kind of interesting, I guess. Yep. I don't know. I suppose it's a way to ensure that you don't completely screw yourself by just not having any hope of getting materials along the way, I suppose. Although I feel like that should be at the risk of the player. If the player has chosen to have bypassed these areas and lose out on the loot and energy, then so be it, I would think. So we're back in the smokestacks now up at A5. Turns out I wasn't stopped here at all, and also there's a bit of a storm that's up there. Now, interesting, it like changed and moved. Because I don't think there was a storm there before, was there? Maybe there was, I don't know. The light ambient radiation's not really a problem. The energy-wise, not really a huge thing. We do have a little bit of time here. Suppose we can see if we can find some more Olympium fragments. I'm still not terribly sure what to look for. Instinct tells me that these towers are kind of clued. Like, sometimes they shine red. So I'm wondering if maybe there's something up there that I liberate off or so, and it like comes flying down, because it's meant to be a strong alloy, right? So that tells me that it's probably not something I just simply saw apart. I would think. I'm not sure. Also, ignore the wipers. They're just gonna always be on. We have a quirk where when I turn the steering wheel, they turn on. Well, I've tried to fight it. It's no use. It wins. Yeah. Stuff. In danger, but I think that's just the light ambient radiation. Looking for anything that stands out. Or shines or anything. I mean, these are very, like, oops, warbly tubes. Oops. Don't think there's anything shining on these, though. It might have just been a nighttime thing that caused them to shine red, but I don't know. That's currently the only thing that I've got. I don't know what else to really look for. We have a bit of time, though. We have a bit of energy. Oh, there was actually less than 2.5 here. Oh yeah, look at that. There are weaker areas of radiation, just... Okay, never mind, I take it back. Okay. So, if we get the top radiation thing, then, we can just ignore a large majority of the small background radiation that these areas have, then, I guess. Alright, I'll look around, see what I can find. We have a bit of time here, and the energy's not a huge issue, so let's take advantage of it and see what we can manage. Because if I get some Olympium fragments, then hey, we can do things, and at least get like Olympium bumpers or something, or panels. That'd also be good. The storm's kind of forcing me out here. Whatever the Olympium stuff is, it's tough to find, I'm pretty sure. Unless I got the zone wrong. I don't think so, though. Smokestacks? No. But none of these are glowing. I think that might be the other zone. The glowing ones. But that zone, because it was red spires, and that zone doesn't have Olympium fragments. So I don't know. I did quite a little bit of, like, on-foot exploration, too. No sign of anything. I don't know. It could be the type of thing where it's maybe easier to find at night because maybe it glows a little bit. I don't know. God, just wipers on when I turn the wheel is... That was just the most aggravating thing. Let's go this way. Still looking for just anything a bit out of the ordinary, anything maybe a touch different. I'd be fairly certain it'd be on top of these concrete pillars that are falling apart. Just like inside the cracks and crevices, something shiny, maybe like a purplish color, I would imagine. I don't know. It's just the way that I would do it. You gotta like liberator it off and it just falls down and you collect it. Something that you can't just run up and press E on because it takes a bit of time, it takes a tool to make, so there's a little bit of pressure on having materials to do stuff. And then also something that you can't just quickly do real fast before the storm's, you know, before the storm gets you. Something that it's gotta take a little bit of time. You know, I did get the zone receiver. I got that while we were there. Unlocked the red spires route to go. We're heading into more red spires, which... Yeah, I'm curious on tourist trap. I'm really curious what tourist trap is. We don't have one anymore. There was somewhere up here was tourist trap. I forget if it was like a zone or just a map type tourist trip. I'm not sure. But we're heading to the Red Spires facility. The final stop of the well. Although I think this is maybe the penultimate stop. There's still a bit of room up in the corner there. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of there. It's Red Spires. Man. Just like it's also a concrete pillar thing, and I thought, I don't know, maybe, and yeah, you just blast something off, but you give it a purplish color so it stands out to some extent. Oh, this is extremely straightforward.
This is really it, huh? The end of the road.
Kind of literally.
So we'll finally see for ourselves what caused the mass hallucination, and what Tobias and Alan died for.
And whether it was all worth it.
Probably not.
Francis.
Yeah?
Thank you for trusting me when you had every reason not to. Getting to this point together with you, it makes me feel like my old self again.
It's been an honor to watch you work, Dr. Turner.
Yeah, this is way more effective than the jumpers. Yeah. Back up to full. I used quite a bit of power. There was like a ton of anchors all clustered together on that last map, and there was also a huge one that ported in, but there was a ton of radiation and crud everywhere, and then the yellow storm closing in, so I just had the radiation field protecting me from all of the above while I gathered everything. Worked out very well. We got tons of energy. 5.1 Caleb. Oh, hey, hi. That's a facility. I'll just confirm. Oh. Bash my head into a rock. Yeah, no. Can't kick that. That's just a fuel thing. God, imagine being out of fuel right here. You've come so far. Just push the car into it. What a sight, though. Man. What a thing.
These gamma readings, are they real? I can't even begin to guess what could be outputting this much radiation.
Some sort of energy reservoir, a massive fission reaction, or
A portal.
Atlantis. If this thing really leads us to Atlantis, I'm turning in my PhD.
I mean, that's what Tobias said
If
it
only
did.
Tobias were here to see it.
I would have liked to hear his take on all this. For once. All right, driver. You're almost to the threshold. Remember, Francis and I have got your back. Once you get that car to the well,
We'll keep the gamma ray burst under control for as long as we can. Whatever happens, whatever state you find yourself in, the arc device will be your safety net. Use it. Get back to us, you hear me?
Ready when you are, driver.
Okay, yeah, hold on. Mechanic kit, right? Yeah. It's just straight busted. Okay. Unfortunate. Wow. It reminds me of a little bit of one of the entryways into the Bramble from Outer Wilds. Terrifying. Oh, shoot a probe into this, see where it goes. Whoa, that's so weird. There's like 3 indications of where it is. Wow, that's crazy. Terrifying. If only they knew. Oh. Going at speed, I assume, or okay.
it's opening? Godspeed, driver.
Is it opening? I can't tell. Welcome to map 2, part 2 of the game. It just fades to black and act 2 appears on screen. Oh god. That was just a tutorial map.
Hoppy? Hoppy!
Did it work? What's the energy output? Damn it, Alan, I'm fine. Light nearly blinded me. Can you read it?
Yeah, let me see. 500 kilojoules? Hoppy, what is this?
The future. I call it limb waves.
Very smart idea using largely square TVs for all of this. All the polys on screen all at once otherwise. I always like when games do stuff like this and you look and it's like they try to make it busy, but for performance reasons you can see like, yeah, no, we had to dial that back a lot. Like a couple of them have antennas. For the most part, it's just a square. What? Ow. I almost didn't make that. Oh, there's not an invisible wall? Oh, okay. Just got shoved away. There's like a platform over there though with like some light. Okay, all right. Yeah, fine. We'll go. I'll hold Shift and W. I'll do it.
Coffee delivery.
Alan, gosh. Is it that time already?
So, about leaving Arda. I was thinking, how about by Christmas?
Yes, maybe. I just need to solve this instability issue. I loathe to think about leaving the Olympic Peninsula like this.
There's always more to do.
I know. I'm sorry.
And I love you for it. I'm just wondering if you'll really be able to walk away from all this. It's okay if you can't.
You abandoned the world to work here beside me. Fair is fair.
Lentech is a world-changing discovery. Your world-changing discovery. Fairness isn't even a consideration.
We agreed to have children, and I'm not having them in this hellhole.
Good, because I'd love to have 8.
Then I hope you're ready to carry at least half of those yourself.
I love you.
I love you.
It sounded so sinister. I love you. I love you too. Oh my God, Alan. We're going. They don't know where to. But man, are we ever. Whee! See, I can control myself while I'm in midair on that.
The movers are here. Wait, why aren't you packed?
I ain't going.
The evacuation orders.
Evacuation orders can go to hell. We leave, and we never see the inside of these walls again. All the things we've been investigating, the ripple, the echoes from the swamp, they'll all fade away. I'm gonna stay and chase down these stories, wherever they take me.
Tobias,
Stay here. With me.
The thing with the characters, right? How to put it? We don't have faces, right? And faces are how you make connections mostly. But without faces, you need really strong personalities. And none of these characters really have very strong personalities. They're just kind of there. Oppie to some extent, because she's like kind of the crazy old stubborn woman. Everybody kind of sort of has some sort of a parallel or analog to that. But Tobias and Francis, not really. They're just kind of people. So like, when the one died, I forget which already, if it was Tobias or Francis. It didn't really feel very much, and it's like, I guess they're dead, but like, I don't really know a whole lot about them. So it's kind of an unfortunate thing that we've got these characters with us for kind of so long throughout the game, yet we don't really have any connection to them in any way. Go this way! No! I tried. Oh God, help. I'm caught on the antenna.
You here to cloak?
I'm here to deliver the committee's decision. You have been found guilty of doctoring experimental data. This action is in clear violation of Arda's scientific integrity. Judgment has been rendered. You may stay and work, but your clearance will be lowered to level 3.
So I'm to be a glorified flash cleaner.
Take it as a win. You could have been court-martialed instead.
Yeah, I'm sure you would have liked that much better.
What I like has no bearing on this decision. See you on Monday, Dr. Cook.
Oppie knew the research was full. Well, of course she knew, because she's like, oh, it's not my story to tell. Well, kind of knew that already. I guess that's like, confirmation. Whee! I'm trying a little bit hard to get stuck. I don't know why.
Driver, do you read me?
No.
Driver, you passed through some sort of opening. We managed to hold it steady, but the energy expulsion is growing. We don't have much longer.
If you can hear this, you need to get back now.
Hold on, I'm lost.
Hey, look! The gang's back together!
Tobias?
I never told you how grateful I was that you stayed behind in the zone. With me. These years, best of my life. Foraging for mushrooms, slogging through swamplands, combing through hours and hours of terrible field recordings. Not a single moment wasted. Thank you. For everything.
It was all you. You made me feel capable. That anything was possible. That I wasn't some second-rate scientist. All my happiness was thanks to you. And I'm afraid of how I'll survive without you.
I'm not. You got this. You always have. Hey, Oppie. Alan sends his regards. And he wants to know why you haven't taken his advice yet.
What's the advice, Oppie?
Driver, is that a gun barrel on your dash?
Yeah, man.
Oh, I'll be damned. Bye. Until next time.
Okay, bye.
Tobias? Tobias!
Driver, if you could hear this, we can't keep the well stable for much longer. Wherever you are, come back.
I'm on the way. We're going on foot though, because I don't have a car. And I like how this is just getting more and more claustrophobic. It's extremely subtle, but it's getting more and more claustrophobic. They're starting to do, like, leaning in like this and slanting toward each other more and more and more. Bits of the road are just slowly appearing more and more. We're no longer in a facility, we're just on a cracked road. I appreciate the subtlety of this holding W part. It's not so weird and wild like a lot of games tried to do. Oh, who made it? Oh, my car. Oh, my stuff. Yeah. Nah, I'm not going back. Kidding me? What's up, guys? How's it going? Just throw that there for you. I don't know if they mind too much. My stuff here? Yeah, my stuff's here. Excellent. Huh. Huh. Well, the horn still works. Engine's left on, of course. Typical. As the battery's just drained and I can't actually go anywhere. Oh, crap.
Just a little longer. Hold steady, Francis.
I'm trying.
Keep those limb bases aligned. Not even a 0.001 deviation, you get me?
Oh, God.
I'm trying.
Wiper. No. Ah! We're good. This is the least climactic possible. It's a little more climactic now. As I'm just spinning constantly. Oh, Jesus.
Punching it as hard as I can.
Hey guys. Got my shield on though, so lol. I can't reach anything.
Francis, hold tight.
I can't. The phase, it's desinking.
I can't stay straight. Anytime I touch any of those, we just lose control. Gosh darn it, game. Just come flying in, literally.
You made it back, driver. All in one piece, it looks like.
Yeah.
And no sign of the Remnant's energy signature anywhere in that car. You're free.
But the car's maintained its link to you. Fascinating. We'll never know how far the Remnant's obsessions wormed into your head. But you should be safe from it getting any worse. In theory.
Bobby, I'm sorry. You didn't get to talk to Alan again.
We managed to pull off the near impossible. And the first thing you do is apologize?
Sorry. I mean,
Don't worry. It was Tobias's fault. He hogged the frequency all for himself yet again.
you heard him too.
I did. That means I didn't imagine that last conversation with Alan. And you know what else?
What?
That your theory was right. And Tobias called it. All that bluster, and he ended up showing us scientists a thing or two. Those moments we heard, they were all from the past. Being inside that well somehow allowed the Remnant to access those imprints and replay them. But Tobias's voice wasn't from the past, it was from somewhere else entirely.
But where? And how?
No clue. Do me a favor. Once you figure it out, don't bother telling me. I'm leaving the zone.
I'm sorry, what?
Alan came to tell me goodbye, and that I was forgiven 37 years ago. I didn't listen. So now, finally, I'm going to take his advice. I should have left the zone a long time ago.
But if we solve this, maybe there's a way to speak to him again.
I heard what I needed to hear. It only took me 37 years to listen. Anyway, all that sounds like a young scientist game. It's not for me anymore. Francis, you decide what to do from here. You can carry the torch and continue the research, or get out of this cursed place and find your own way. It's your decision. And driver, you're free now. You can do what you want from here. But if you'll allow an old woman one last hope, stay here with Francis. There's so many more stories for the Zone to tell. And the both of you are young enough to listen. My ears are bad. And I refuse to hear them. I've removed all access restrictions to my systems, Francis. The helm is yours.
Wait, I don't know if I can do this alone.
You're not alone. You've got clear eyes, ears open to the impossible, and the driver. Dr. Cook, driver. It's been a pleasure. This is Dr. Ophelia Turner. Signing off.
Oppie? Oppie! Really? Well, driver, if you don't mind sticking around with me, Oppie was right. There's still so much of the Zone that we still don't know about. But with your help, we can tell those stories. I'm no Oppie, but I'll do the best I can. You're no longer bound to the car, but it's stayed with you and will continue to protect you as you travel the Zone. Go on then. As long as you're willing to drive, I'm along for the ride.
Oh. Oh, credits! I don't know why they're like, oh my gosh, that was incredible. See, I knew it wasn't a hallucination, even though it was a hallucination they're describing. I don't... okay, whatever. The characters in this generally kind of whatever. Oppie, I guess, isn't a remnant or anything. She just is also a scientist who's, I don't know, whatever. They're all just people, I guess. It's fine. The characters are kind of just... It's a bit whatever, I guess. Story, a bit whatever. Like, there was kind of an interesting theory that maybe we're the remnant and not the car. That I kind of liked that theory, but it doesn't exactly line up with the very start of the game. I'm a little surprised there wasn't really a twist or anything. Like, it is actually just straightforward. The game as a whole, straightforward. As much as I love it, and as close to a perfect game for me as there is, there are a few issues with the game. Bugs notwithstanding. Mostly just the interface bugs anyway. Like, the way that you're gathering energy, it's just pulling them from the anchors. It's literally just a recolor of the same thing. Like, it doesn't act differently when you pull it. It doesn't act differently when you harvest it. It doesn't act differently while you're lugging it around in your vehicle. I would have thought that this energy, rather than just kind of vanishing when you put it in your car, perhaps it's like a fluid or something, like some weird limb discharge thing that you're collecting, and maybe, you know, through some sort of like a, I don't know, fission, you're just like breaking the energy out for whatever. I don't know the science, but you have just like a storage tank for the stuff on your vehicle, and as you're looking around the different types, it affects your vehicles differently, it affects your environment a bit differently. Things just get a little more wild as you're plugging energy out because it's an anchor and it's supposed to be there for, like, you know, maybe keeping it straightforward and kind of a bit together. So like, as you're collecting the energy, things just go a little bit wilder. That's the vibe that I got at the start, but that's not the way it turned out to be. Turns out as you're taking energy out of the system, nothing really changes at all whatsoever. It's extremely straightforward, and I would have liked to have seen a lot more depth regarding that. A lot more risk and reward for getting those huge energy runs going where, you know, lugging around like 20 stable energy is generally kind of okay, but then you start getting the unstable energy, and that'll start affecting the environment around you, and corrupted energy might start affecting the car itself or you and cause you to hallucinate things, maybe, like anything rather than just, you know, the same sort of deal through and through. The mid-zone was an interesting area to go to at first, but it's nothing that I really ever wanted to go back to. It's kind of just, I don't know. It's like I discovered the threat of things get stolen from you, but then we immediately researched the solution to that. It wasn't really, it was, the payoff was like right away. And the deep zone, again, I like the look of it, but it's just kind of more of the same. It just, I can't tell if they started the game working on the Deep Zone and then got better over time, or if the Deep Zone was one of the last things they did and started running out of ideas. It's tough to say, because look at all the dogs and cats. Why, yeah. And a bunny. Right on, Lord Bunny Gilgamesh. Rock on. Yeah, I don't know. Overall, great game, but it could have been a lot more. There's not a lot of depth to it. It's like the first 6 hours of gameplay is the entire game, all of it. A little bit of a shame, I think. Could have been a lot more. I'm happy with what it is, though. It's very close to what I want, where go into a dangerous area, collect stuff, bring it back, do things with the stuff, and prepare to go back out to get more stuff. I like that. I love it. That's a simple gameplay loop that I can get behind, and that's generally what this has got, and that's great. Big fan. It wasn't a full-price game, so I don't expect it to be too wild, but it does have some definite shortcomings here and there from a gameplay perspective that I would have liked to have seen a lot more developed. Something I'll keep my eye on, though. Maybe they get around to adding more into this game, and maybe there's like another zone or like a portal off, or I don't know. I have no idea what their plans are with the game. It could be that this is actually just it, and they might just do a couple more bug fixes, and that's that. I do not know. A for tourist attraction. So it's not a zone type specifically, I think. I don't want to go to a tourist attraction. Yeah, we don't have any of them. In this really wild roundabout way, it probably leads to another highway thing, right? Eventually? I don't know. It seems like the highway is meant to have a bit of a loop around. Hum. So I guess that's it then. Front left door, close wipers and move slowly again. We've also got when the steering wheel stays turning, the wipers start. Switch on. I guess toggles, and it just happenstance happened to always be on. Oh, okay. Right on. Cool. And then number 4, we're not sure on. What's the word on number 4? What does it involve? Something with the radio. Something with the radio and wipers? I'm just guessing. Oh, alright. Right on. When the radio stays on, the wipers move fast. Oh, alright, cool. God, I'm so good at diagnosing things. Ah, yeah. Let's put that to the test. Wipers on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. Okay. The quirk system is also something that I would have liked to have seen a lot more. It turned into... At first I thought it was a way that you're like specializing your car, right? Like typically in an RPG you'd level up and you get talents and perks and passives and everything, and that's what makes you eventually with your class and all that. And I thought with this, because it's not really an RPG, what you'd be doing is making your car better, not through the parts that you're throwing on it, but through the quirk system and managing the quirks. But not all quirks are good, and some come at a cost. And depending on how you maintain your car, determines how many perks you get and what kind of potency of the perks that you, or quirks that you get. So if you're looking to get the really good ones, like, oh, while the radio's on, the battery drains slower, and oh, while the back left door is open, you go faster or something. I don't know. It could be anything, like literally anything. And that's sort of how you build and specialize your car. So it's not just about the parts that you're putting on. It's about managing the quirk system too, and trying to keep everything on the up and up, and ideally getting chains of quirks working together to make you better and faster and maneuver easier and everything. But it turned into really just a gimmick, which is a massive letdown and a huge missed opportunity, I feel. I was really looking forward to what the quirk system brought, but for the most part I was able to ignore it through the game because you don't get many quirks at the same time anyway. 5's the most I've ever had. And they kind of just go away on their own anyway. If you let it sit for long enough, it just vanishes. And with the amount of really oddball combinations there can be, chances are all 5 quirks get rolled into something that you never notice that you've got. And that's that. The end. It's a shame. Deeper quirk system. Give these characters some faces, at least an avatar or something while they speak to you. God, anything? Something going on with the energy when you collect it. Like, that's another huge part of the game that's just like, I don't know. It feels like at some point during development, they're just like, it's good enough. And left it. And it's like, you're right. It is good enough, but man, you went from being a game that I could recommend to anybody to just being a game that I can only recommend to people who really like the loot goblin type thing. Bit of a shame. We'll see what they do with it down the road, though, because I'm looking forward to more. I've still massively enjoyed it through and through. The couple of frustrating parts here and there, mostly with the maintenance system of the car and how things just become aged like right away. Is like this is aged. It's no good. It's not worth bringing along. It's already dead to me. At least this panel I've had for a decent amount of time. Like, sometimes I craft something, and during the very first trip with it, we'll barely have any miles on it. It's already just like blowing out every second. And people kept thinking that it was maybe a quirk, but it's not. I've been on top of the quirks and figuring them out and getting rid of the really annoying ones. I don't think there's anything regarding things breaking down at all. It's like just some action that's going on, right? So like when the car crashes, I think falling off is the worst thing that you can have on here. It's not like oxidizing batteries more or whatever's in the rear seat, you know, scuffs a bit. It's just sometimes we just craft something and it's like it started with the aged tag, because it acts like how an aged thing should act, where it's always breaking down, always oxidizing. It's just a constant pain in the butt. But I just made the thing, so I don't know. I know like you can hold C on it and you get the mileage and all that, like when you're, I think you have to like hold on to the plate or something. Oh no, it's just the more info, you press V on it. 48.45 miles. A pretty okay amount of miles, I guess, for a panel. I suppose, versus like this amp engine, which I've had this for a very long, yeah, 48.45. The same time that I made this amp engine, we got that. But some of those off-road tires couldn't have been more than like 10 or 15 before they started blowing out constantly. And like once it blew out the one time, it'd continuously blow out. Again, it acts like it's aged even though it's not yet. Strange. I just assume it's a bug. So. But that was like the only frustrating part of this game that I ever had. The rest of it's been kind of a joy. I'd very much be willing for more if more is ever to come.